Ugh. Welcome back to Two Shots In Podcast.
Oh, hold on. Start over.
Oh, fuck you. I'm not starting over nothing. I've already said it, and I'm not re-introing it. Welcome to Two Shots In Podcast. I'm Devin Burgess. I'm here with Ginger Janae, Frank King, and the man who taught me everything I know, but not everything he knows, Richard, the Gunny, Mars. Gunny, how would you describe yourself to our listeners?
A gun enthusiast, like shooting, love shooting. Used to hunt more than I do now, that's for sure.
What'd you hunt?
Used to like deer and turkey. Turkey was my big thing after.
You ever hunt anything strange that might hunt you back, like a person, like a man?
Well, no.
You don't hunt the man.
Even if it was sanctioned by the government?
No.
Well,
Never hunted people. But
weren't you in like World War I or something?
I was in World War I. Enlisted in 1913.
Y'all better leave my man alone.
But it's that's about how I describe myself. Former military.
You were in the Marine Corps for how many years?
24 years.
That's a lot of years.
Tell me about it.
Did you ever see Jack Reacher, like the second one? Or was it the first one?
I'll be back.
Where he goes to the gun range and the guy running the gun range? I swear to God, they modeled that guy on Gunny. He even talks like him.
Is that a movie or it's a TV show?
It's a Tom Cruise movie. Jack Reacher.
Yeah, he was in the Army, though. No offense to the Army personnel. But the gun they're in a range was a good.
Oh, yeah, you saw the movie?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. I swear to God, dude, he talks exactly like Gunny. Acts just like him.
So you were, your military history, you were in Vietnam?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Joined the Marine Corps in 1969. And
what made you join?
Most of the folks in my family were military or former military. A lot of Marines. A couple Air Force, a couple Navy, but most of them Marines.
So why did you choose the Marine Corps?
Nah, probably because I thought it was the roughest, toughest, and I said, if I'm going to go, let's do that. And I don't know if that's true anymore. You know, if they still.
You think it was at the time?
Yeah, I think so at the time. It's what I felt. So I mean, I'm sure there were some Green Beret fellas and some Rangers and that would disagree with me, but yeah, I thought it was the toughest at the time, and that's what I wanted to do.
So you were, how many deployments were you in that 24 years? I know you were in Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam. Only combat zone deployment was Vietnam. Everything else was just engineer type stuff where they needed engineers. That was my MOS. My primary MOS was engineers, and then running the rifle range for 3 or 4 years, and so it varied. It varied on what I did.
But being a gunnery sergeant, you must have wavered from engineering somewhere along the line.
No, as a matter of fact, I don't know if it was contributed to my scores or what, but I was from day one. They wanted me as an engineer. So I mean, I went to engineer school and did all those things, and then became an instructor out at engineer school, and then an instructor out at running a rifle range at Kaneohe Bay, Hawaii, for the Marines out there, and that was probably the best duty. I was in Hawaii for 2 hitches back in the 80s, and then back in my last hitch was in Hawaii running a rifle range from 97 to 2000. Mm-hmm. So it was a variety of things.
So we love, that's a little back story on you, but we love talking about conspiracies, and there's no conspiracy better in my opinion. I mean, we talk about ghosts and shit like that. But a true conspiracy that has gained a lot of footing and may actually be true, I think there's only maybe 3 or 4 that I actually believe in. One of the biggest ones and gets the most notoriety is the JFK assassination. And
Definitely.
You, like me, I mean, you've read a lot more books and I'm sure researched it a lot more. What do you think happened in that old JFK assassination?
You know, I'm like everyone else. I mean, I don't know why I was invited here today, but
because we think you're a cool cat.
I've been trying to get you in here for a while, man.
But I just assume, like everyone else, there's certain things that caught my attention and my interest, and I kind of pursued reading that. And when we went to Dallas, I went to the site and looked at different things, and I tried to look at it from the Kennedy side and as well as the Oswald side. Things that interest me is like the main street in Dallas, Main Street, which is where his motorcade was going to travel. That was the shortest and quickest way to the interstate to get out of the area. But yet,
in case they were ambushed.
No, that was his parade route. That was his how he was supposed to get from one location, from the airport to where he had to go. But at the last minute, they changed the route to where he turned on Houston Street.
Why did they do that?
That's what nobody knows why they did it or who actually called the shots on it. But he went as far as
there's so many
as far as I know
that happened that day.
Yeah,
They're so
it's
crazy.
He turned.
Well, just like nobody knows why Oswald didn't pop him coming up the street.
Well, everybody. Well, not everybody, but people that shoot know that the wind, the rain, all the weather effects.
A head-on shot would have been
a head-on
shot.
Is your best shot. Head on or away from you, it doesn't have the effect of east and west, rather than north and south.
But wasn't he head on coming at him?
He was not really head on. He had more of a head shot coming down Houston Street. He turned off a main.
If somebody was on the grassy knoll, that would have been pretty much
a good shot,
a head-on shot. And the conditions that day were fucking perfect to shoot. I mean, there was no wind, clear visibility.
He turned on Houston Street off of Main, and went over to Elm Street, which is probably where he had to make the sharpest turn to get in his direction back toward town. And
so he had to slow down.
He had to slow down, to at least, I think it was 17 miles per hour, if I remember correctly. It might vary, but and that's where the things I don't understand. I don't understand. I looked at it from the Oswald aspect as far as his training. For years I heard, he was an expert shot. He was in the Marine Corps' expert shot. That's not true. He qualified as a sharpshooter and barely qualified that, and that's right above.
Grab that. That's what he did. Did he shoot that in the military?
No. He shot an M1 Garand.
Right, so much more accurate rifle.
Much better. That's why I said this thing, man.
Which is strange too. Why he would pick that fucking Carcano?
Well, if you're going after the president and you are shooting alone, why would you pick a bolt action rifle?
Right.
I mean, when you
that bolt action rifle.
When you're used to shooting an M1 Garand.
I'd rather a fucking spitball gun than that goddamn thing.
But he basically shot. His shooting, if you look at his history in the Marine Corps.
Grab that, Frank. People don't know what it was.
If you look at his history in the Marine Corps, his shooting deteriorated toward the end of his career or toward the end of his contract. So, and he was shooting sharpshooter maybe the first or second time he qualified with a weapon. After that, I don't know if it's because he got a short timer's attitude or he just didn't really shoot very well or what the case was, but his shooting ability deteriorated to where he was just barely shooting marksman or not even qualifying with a weapon. So it's the rumor of he was an expert trained by the Marines. That's not exactly true. But again, why would you go to an Italian Carcano when you got in those days you had an M1 Garand. You had, you're talking about the 60s. You had 30-06s people hunted with, 30 caliber carbines, other guns that would have performed a little bit better than this 6.5 by, 52?
Yeah, I've always wondered why he would have chosen that.
Yeah.
Which would lead you to believe that maybe he didn't choose that, which would lead you to believe a lot of other things.
Yeah, but there's so many things that are still unanswered even after all the years and after the Warren Commission's investigation, and there's things that...
Do you think the round that this shoots would have blown Kennedy's head apart like that?
It wouldn't have helped him. But, it would have... that close of a range, it would have done it.
It was 255 feet. It was
88 yards.
82 meters, I think.
82 meters.
Uh-huh. Which is fucking nothing, by the way. You can hit somebody with a fucking baseball at 82 meters.
Yeah.
Did you see the documentary where they said it was the Secret Service car behind him?
I saw that, and and like I said,
that I don't believe that because there was somebody that was struck under the overpass.
Yeah.
So they had to account for either that magic bullet theory or two bullets.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was true.
I don't.
But then why did the Secret Service lie that say they didn't have an AR-15 in the car?
Well, I think after that it's fucking pandemonium.
Yeah, everybody cover butt. You know, it's just.
I mean, the president's just been killed. You're in an open city. You know, bullets are going off. People are screaming.
Yeah, I tell you,
nobody knows what the fuck's going on. You don't know if he's dead or not.
One of the best references for anybody that wants to do the research themselves is On a Trail of the Assassins, and it's written by Jim Garrison. He used to be the district attorney in New Orleans, and he names a lot of New Orleans folks and New Orleans addresses and interest that folks had here. He named some addresses over on, I think it's South Peter Street over there where the federal building is. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of assumptions still, even after the Warren Commission did their investigation and released a lot of the facts. It's there's people now. They just released, I think a year or two ago, maybe more, released the classified paperwork, and there's still some stuff that they haven't released.
Well, there was a lot of fuckery with that too, because they found that bullet on Conley's gurney in perfect shape.
Yeah.
Paul, pull that. The bullet that they found that attributed to Kenny to striking
2 targets and bone.
Hitting the wrist, hitting striking bone, and they just found it on this dude's.
But it's just
gurney, and it's immaculate.
Yeah, it's just like.
Well, and there's actually a documentary about that too.
That's the bullet. Get the fuck out of here.
But they only show you one side of it.
Get the fuck. I don't care.
They said the other side. They said the other side is actually damaged.
Oh yeah, I'm
there
sure
it is right there.
Get the fuck. Look at that.
Yeah. But again,
any bullet that hits anything is going to get so destroyed. It went through 2 people, and got lodged in
the diagram of the magic bullet.
Well, actually, that which people use to discredit that Lee Harvey Oswald shot it, I think that is the most believable thing about the whole fucking story.
But that's actually that's inaccurate though.
Right, he was positioned higher.
Well, no, Connolly was lower in a jump seat or something like that in front of him.
But I think even if that was the case, I think that is the most realistic
that it's
thing.
Random like that.
Oh yeah. Bullets do wild
look
shit.
At what happened with
stuff.
in the store.
Oh yeah,
in the elbow out the bicep.
Yep. There was a guy that used to work here for a minute when I very first started, and he was in the military. He said he had seen a convoy that got ambushed, and the guy got shot in the head. Bullet came out his eye. So I mean, bullets do super crazy shit when they hit anything. So I think that is one of the only believable things about the whole story, is that the bullet could have done that. It could have hit, lower shoulder, went up into the neck, exited the neck in a downward trajectory, hit Conley's wrist, and then went into his, leg or thigh or whatever the hell it was. Bullets bounce, but it's not going to look like that when it's done.
I agree.
No, get the fuck out of here. That ain't happening.
Did you ever play JFK Reloaded?
No.
What the hell is that?
It's a video game.
Oh no.
Where you get
to
be
shoot him over and over again?
You get to be Oswald. And you score points.
Terrible.
No, but look, you score points
if
you can do things exactly the same way Oswald did. Now,
go to Russia, marry a Russian lady?
No. But like in certain amount of time, you have to hit him in the exact same spot at the exact same time. It's crazy, and it's damn near impossible to do. But it's also banned now. They don't have that game anymore.
They shouldn't.
Can't be offing presidents in the comfort of your own home, son. So what do you think is the most that people might not know about? What do you think is the most concrete evidence that he did or didn't?
Well, I'm not saying he didn't do it, but I don't think he acted alone.
Okay, so that was my next point. There's 2 schools of thought, which is the point that I don't get. There's people that think he acted alone and was Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy and that's it, or that it's a vast conspiracy and he had nothing to do with it. I think it's probably a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Because he went to Russia, he lived in Russia, he married a Russian woman, and why that's important is because Russia and Cuba at the time, Bay of Pigs just failed. Cuba didn't do shit without Russian thumbs up to do it.
Well,
then he took a weird trip down to Mexico and may have gone to Cuba.
Yeah.
Just to maybe.
Well, he went to the Cuban embassy.
So he was doing
went to the Russian embassy. I think they said he
fuckery.
was even at the Mexican embassy, and he was asking for different citizenships and stuff. He wanted to stay in Russia. That's where he wanted to.
He came back with a Russian wife.
Yeah.
Didn't the House, the House Committee on Assassinations or something like that rule that there were 2 shooters?
Well, I don't know if they've ever proved that. I know they assume that. But the thing is, I don't know if he was the only shooter or not. But I do suspect that at the end he had people there that were supposed to get him out of there. You know, I really believe he was supposed to either get away and then be assassinated himself afterwards.
Which he was.
Which he was by Ruby.
Jack Ruby blew his head off in fucking prime time on the news.
Yeah, but so I don't know if.
And why would Jack Ruby do that? A connected mob guy. He said he felt bad for his wife.
Jackie.
For Jackie. He felt bad for Jackie, which is why he did it. But come on, get the fuck out of here.
I don't. I try not.
There's so much.
Yeah, I try to read as much as I can on it. And
conspiracy about Huey P. Long too. They think he was shot by his own bodyguards, but that's for another story.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
A bigger conspiracy that nobody really knows about is Martin Luther King. His assassination is even wilder than this.
Yeah, and even that shooter was smart enough to get a 30-06. Not shoot this piece of crap.
That's a big problem. And then people look at the gun,
yeah,
and they say that the scope was off, which is just some more bullshit. Because I mean, if you drop that thing, who knows what happens from the time that he shot it? From the time that they actually did ballistic testing
who handled
on it.
it,
right? I mean, you can drop that thing,
threw it in the back of a police car.
Right. So there's so many things on either side that it's so crazy. You think you'll ever figure out do you think we as a society
isn't it
will
supposed to be
know?
Released?
It has a lot of the documents have been released, but there are still some that are
blacked out,
declassified.
They're redacted.
And,
but aren't there supposed to be like another massive release like in the next 10 years?
It's not going to say anything good.
I don't think it'll get you. If the United States government don't want you to know, you're not going to know. So it's just, it's always interested me, and I don't know why I've taken so much interest. I mean, I was like going to be 12 years old when he was killed.
I'm balls deep in conspiracies. I love conspiracies. But I love a good conspiracy.
Just there's so many people that you could legitimately point a finger at. You know, they talked about the mafia. They talked about Cubans. They talked about the people that participated in the Bay of Pig incident. Because he pulled the air support for the Bay of Pigs, which
and how many mafia people came forward already and said, we were part of it, we did it,
and then the Russians,
and that just throws everybody off.
Well,
God damn it!
There's a guy right now doing he's doing a documentary, and it's about a 5 or 6 series documentary. He's a former CIA agent, and that's what he did, conspiracies and stuff like that.
Think about Baker.
Yeah. And he turned up some pretty interesting stuff.
He worked for the CIA.
Yeah. He's former CIA, and he had a guy from the former, I think, U.S. Army Special Forces with him that was looking at the weapon aspect of it, and he was handling the investigation part of it. And it was pretty interesting stuff. I mean, it still leaves some stuff. There was he supposedly uncovered. And you can look at it on the History Channel. You can pull it up. He uncovered over in Bell Chase a road that leads back to. If you look at it from the roadside, you see a bunch of sand, grassy knolls and the grassy dunes. Well, if you went past that and looked at it, it was ammo bunkers, and they were saying that Oswald trained right in the swamp around Louisiana, Lake Pontchartrain. And that's where there was no way you could bring what they needed by truck without making it obvious. So they picked that spot because it's right on the Mississippi River. You could come there, offload, and nobody would be the wiser. But it's a good documentary. I mean, there's still some things. They talked to a few Cuban people that said they saw Oswald at a party with a Cuban girl, and different things. But I mean, there's still a lot of it's assumption. You know, I assume this and I assume that, and we assume this, but so it doesn't really clarify anything other than makes you a little bit more interested in.
Another crazy thing is the video of him getting shot didn't come out until 12 years, like 11 or 12 years after he was killed, which is crazy too.
Well, that's the Zapruder film.
That's what I'm talking about.
That was
Zapruder
leaked.
film.
Yeah.
You know, the Zapruder film is the most watched. I was watching History Channel, so if I'm wrong, it's their fault. They say that that's the most watched piece of film in cinematic history.
Well, I'm sure that most people studying it are trying to find out what really happened. But I don't know if
And
you
there's
ever
that one woman that they never found her camera footage or
Yeah.
never found out who she was.
Yeah.
The babushka lady.
It's interesting, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I just have an opinion, and I read about.
So you're in the casino. You're going to bet on black or red?
Oh,
What happened?
I got to go with red.
What is it? We didn't distinguish black and red. That's my fault. What do you think happened?
I think he bled out when he got hit in the head, so I'm going with red. You know?
That he does look like he gets hit from. The video is wild.
Well, the first shot, you see him grab his throat.
It looks like he gets hit in the throat when he
like he
passes
grabs
the
his throat.
pole and he
Yeah.
goes down, and then his head.
But then why all the
explodes.
fucked up shit with the coroner? Why did they lance his throat
Well, when he
right
went
over
to
the
down,
bullet hole?
Yeah.
Why did his?
Well, they changed it from a tracheotomy, from a
Well,
bullet hole to a
right.
tracheotomy.
That's what I'm
wound.
saying. So why make those modifications?
Because
why
they got to
send
account
him
for.
to that local hospital
Yeah.
when they had a fit about it in the first place?
Well, the Secret Service wanted the body immediately once they pronounced him dead. And the Dallas Police Department and the coroner were saying, no, the body belongs to us until the investigation's done, because he was killed in Dallas. And supposedly, the Secret Service just basically picked up the casket,
they said stop us.
took it to the airport, and they had to break the handles off the casket
To get on the plane.
to get it on the plane. So it's just a lot of stuff still
And
up in
then
the air.
where's his brain at?
Took that one. That's a good one. The color one.
Isn't that missing still?
As far as I know. And that would have shown the trajectory of the bullet,
Right.
you know. So, yeah, as far as I know, there's
Yeah, they changed it from a bullet entry wound to a
Do that-
tracheotomy scar.
Do that Max Holland one, because they stabilize it. Or no, it's an hour long. Never
well,
mind.
if you go, and again, I just for those interested, a lot of people aren't even interested anymore. But the Jim Garrison book lays out why
So bad.
they called the particular guy to do to recreate his head. He actually recreated a skull to patch it, supposedly. Again, it's in the book, so that the wound would show from a different direction. You know, I think this is.
How many presidents have they ever let
They're not gonna-
drive
you gotta
with
have
no
to
fucking roof on the goddamn car?
Research it. They're not going to show this on. This is on Larry King's show. They're not going to show
Just
him his head fucking
Do
exploding.
Zapruder film.
Yeah. Oh God, he's gonna have to spell. Just do JFK full video assassination. Zapruder film.
The Zapruder film right there, second one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the most watched piece of film
That's the film.
ever.
Oh, this
Jesus,
is
how hard
the
is
movie
it to get
JFK.
the goddamn Zapruder film? Most watched piece of
Yeah.
film, and I can't find it.
This is the one that's with what's his name, Kevin Costner. Whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go back. This isn't it. Go back. I want to see this. See if we can uncover something that nobody's seen before. But yeah, it does look like he grabs his neck,
So,
Yeah.
Paul,
and then the top of his head explodes.
type in Zapruder. ZAP.
That's right. Is that not it?
Yeah.
The second one?
ZAPRUDER. Type that in.
It's right there.
That's it. No, it's
that's
not.
the
It's
one
a
you
movie
just
clip.
clicked on.
It's a movie clip. ZAPRUDER.
RUDER. And then delete JFK full video. Just put Zapruder film or something like that. There you go. Just do Zapruder video. There you go.
God, I hate this internet. So you still didn't say. What do you think happened?
You click something.
Like I said, I don't know, and I don't know if anybody will ever know for sure.
That's the shitty part, isn't it? I don't think anybody's ever going to know.
Yeah, it's...
do that second one.
I think Lee Harvey Oswald probably knew a lot more than most.
Mm-hmm.
And...
All right, there you go.
Maybe somebody in the Cuban or Russian intelligence agency might have known most of the story. And I don't think we're ever going to know. Here it is right here.
As soon as he passes that sign.
Watch this. Both hands will go to his throat.
And yeah, it looks like he kind of bends.
Right after the sign
over.
Right there.
Here
now
it comes.
He doubles over, if you notice, and she picks him up.
Yep.
Like, what's wrong? And then...
Yep.
Pow.
And then boom.
Yeah.
Fuck. Ugh.
Yeah.
And then there's goofballs
Where the hell's she going?
She's getting the fuck out of that car.
She picked up a piece of his skull that was on
No,
the back of the car.
no. That's what people said.
She's trying to help the
she's getting the fuck out of that car. People are shooting.
She's trying to help him get on the trunk. The Secret Service's agent was running to jump on the back of the car.
Why is he the only Secret Service agent that ran?
Huh?
Why is he the only Secret Service agent that tried to get on the car?
Good question. I don't know. I can't answer that.
But I mean, they've also proven that the time after this video came out, they proved that the time frame where the 2 or 3 rounds would have taken place was a lot longer than they originally thought.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody who knows what they were doing could get 2 or 3 shots off with that bolt gun in 10 seconds.
Maybe a decent bolt gun. I don't know about
Well,
this
yeah,
one.
that is a piece of shit.
I don't know about
so
this
right
one.
here, so 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5. So 5 seconds, you can get 2 shots off.
Yeah.
2 shots in pockets.
2 shots in pockets.
See, she's trying to reach him.
I don't know. I think she's trying to get the fuck out of that car. People's heads start blowing up. I want to get the hell home. Oh, poor Jackie.
Yeah. Now, if you turn the other way.
It does look like it sprays I don't know what it looks like. Let's watch it.
Look,
again.
watch the trunk as it comes by. Watch when the first shot hits him in the neck. Watch the back of the trunk. Do you see a puff of smoke?
That looks like he just got shot.
Like a bullet hit the...
Paul, go back.
You see right there? Like a bullet hit the trunk?
Yeah.
Watch. So he get hit right there, and then watch. Pow, right there.
Oh, yeah, it does. See, what you would do is, if you wanted to pin it on... Let's watch this again. God, poor Kennedy. I loved Kennedy. He was banging everything with legs, too, by the way. He was just smashing ass all day long. Boom. Oh.
Yeah, her death
I don't think that had anything to do with
too.
it, but he was just fucking laying.
Marilyn Monroe was banging both of them. Both brothers.
They killed her, too.
I don't
Poor
think
Marilyn
Jackie was
Monroe.
doing without.
Oh, yeah.
Saying.
They were just slinging ass all day in that White House.
Yeah.
But that's what you would want to do, right? You would want to get them into you would want to 2 or 3 positions. You want to roll them into a where you'd be shooting from multiple angles, and you'd hit them from 2 or 3 different angles.
You want to get them in some crossfire.
Well, yeah, but you don't want to shoot them from left to right because you'd be shooting at each other.
No, but I mean the grassy knoll, the book suppository. They said that that train conductor said he saw some puffs of smoke from the grassy knoll. So I mean, you'd roll them down the street and have 2 guys.
That was hobos sitting on the bridge.
Well, we could do all this all day long. What's his name's dad was one of the hobos that is in that picture of a bunch of hobos they pulled off a train.
Who's dad?
Which a bunch. Woody Harrelson's dad.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know about that?
No, I didn't know about that.
Look up Woody Harrelson's dad, JFK assassination. There's this famous picture of like a dozen dudes that they pulled off a train car, going into Texas, into the wherever the nearest rail yard was, to where JFK was shot, but he said they pulled a bunch of these hobos that didn't look like hobos off this train car, and like 6 of them are known assassins, and Woody Harrelson's dad is in the picture with one of them, who was a known assassin. Yeah. Yep, Charles Harrelson.
I could be an assassin. That might be my next job.
So I think they were gonna light his ass up. I think they were gonna light him up, and they chose to do it in Texas for whatever reason. But yeah, Woody Harrelson's dad was an assassin.
Did you see that picture too of the vice president looking back at a guy on the plane? He's
giving him a thumbs up.
And he's smiling.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, he had 4 wives.
When?
Like while when they were swearing him in. There was a guy way in the back.
Oh, I thought right after he got shot.
Oh, no. Like, what's up? We got him, motherfucker.
Oh, man, I'd like to know.
And then, hey, there was a video. What?
You subscribe to any other conspiracies?
Nah. I don't know. Every once in a while I'll watch something on.
Dude, add JFK to that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about too many conspiracies because people
disappear,
disregard what we're talking right now. So I mean, that's just a bunch of crazies. Guns,
They say that every time, though. It's
yeah, but it's there's so many things.
I mean, the mob hated him.
Yeah. Well, he was after
Yeah,
organized
Russia,
crime.
you had Cuba, you had
Do
Bay of Pigs.
thumbs up.
You had the mafia, the mob.
Yeah.
Man, I'd like to know.
The people that participated in the Bay of Pigs were really fired up with them, It's
I don't know. It was pictured like that, the inauguration.
That's the swearing in right there.
Right, and there's a guy in the back. I think it's that guy in the tuxedo. And he's like,
yeah, that's on the plane getting sworn in right there.
What year did that happen?
1963. November.
Man, I would like to know. Fuck.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, we're never gonna know.
No,
I like talking about it. Though.
It would be nice, but I mean, it wouldn't be nice to find out that the government did it if they were.
Well, that's the other part of that is that nobody wants to believe that one asshole with a fucking bolt gun can change the trajectory of the
free world.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
That one guy and he worked in that book suppository, so he could have done recon and made a little
repository.
Book repository.
Suppository.
That's when they stick books up your ass. That's when they cram books up your ass.
Drinking at 1942.
That's right. The
fucking book suppository.
I got a J.K. Rowling in my butt right now.
How much you think that dress will go for at auction?
What?
Her bloody dress from that day.
That's sad, huh?
Oh, they're selling it.
She's still in the dress. There.
No, it's just that it was on there. I was just thinking, what if they
a shitload.
If they did sell it, could
covered
you imagine?
with fucking skull and brain matter, pieces of eyeball.
Yeah.
Poor guy. You think anybody knows now that is still alive? That knows?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Do you? Because I think, man, people can't keep their fucking mouth shut. People talk.
I don't know. They can keep their mouth shut about aliens.
The ones that
I don't know. There's a lot of info about aliens. We'll talk about that next time. I love me some aliens too.
Me too.
So what about other conspiracies? What about the Gulf of Tonkin? What about?
Well, that's not a conspiracy.
9/11.
Gulf of Tonkin is fucking.
They said it was true.
That's true.
Yeah.
But every major
Tell people
event,
about the Gulf of Tonkin.
Every major military event that the United States has ever gotten involved in, there was a preceding major event that took place prior to. Just like now, they say that everybody at Pearl Harbor knew they were alerted to the fact that they were going to get attacked. And
Gulf of Tonkin was crazy. They were going to shoot down a U.S. fucking jetliner, blame it on the Cubans, and then arm Cuban friendlies, and that was proven that they were going to do that.
It's crazy, man.
So there are conspiracies that are true.
What was it with the gunboats that got attacked by Israeli fighter planes that drew us into the Vietnam War?
I don't know.
There was some kind of incident that took place.
You don't know?
Well, they weren't where I was.
What was it?
It was something that took place right before we got involved in Vietnam that drew us into Vietnam.
Probably a rice shortage.
And they said that these ships were attacked by Vietnamese gunboats. And in reality, it was like the Israelis had attacked us, like some arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
And they blamed it on the Vietnamese, and that's what drew us into Vietnam.
You think we'll ever see a time without war, without armed conflict, people killing each other?
No, I don't think so.
No.
No, and it's getting.
No, you'd have to get every country would have to agree on it. It's like the freaking
it's like
global warming bullshit.
Us right now, we're sitting here, and we're talking about different opinions and different debating everything. You know, you can't do that anymore. Nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to fight about it.
Well, you're supposed to have the same opinion as me, or I hate you.
That's it. You know?
I think the pendulum's swinging back. I do. I think the pendulum's swinging back.
Some of the parents are getting upset about the CRT and.
Oh yeah, wait and see for 20 years from now, college entry levels are going to plummet.
Yeah.
First of all, it's way too expensive. And the government's subsidizing it to make it more expensive, and they're teaching you a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of left-wing activist shit where, you know, women can be men and. There's no such thing as biology anymore.
Did you see that thing with all these major these major colleges that have like $14 billion like sitting aside just earning interest, and they're still getting subsidies from the government, and they're like, you could pay every student's tuition for the next 10 years.
A lot of people don't realize that college used to be super cheap. It was cheap as shit before the government stepped in and said, we will guarantee you a loan to go to college. And then the colleges say, well, fuck, we'll charge whatever we want then. Mm-hmm. You know, college, like in today's money, back then, before the government started subsidizing, would be like $1,200 a year. But once the government says we're going to guarantee you a loan to go to college.
Oh,
well, right. Colleges can charge,
a year.
It's $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year. And they're guaranteed to get it. And these stupid 17-year-olds, I was one of them. I still am a stupid 17. They're going to sign. You know, they don't give a shit. They want to go to Harvard. They don't care.
So you hope that by that time, nobody gives a shit about college anymore.
All it is
because you won't have to put Blair in college.
Right. It's just indentured servitude. These poor kids.
Right.
Signing away their future earnings.
That's why my daughter.
So crazy.
Out. She was like,
well,
none of my friends work in their field that went to college.
None of them.
Most of them don't have jobs at all. And they have this huge amount of debt, and they're not making any money, and they keep them in debt like forever. You know, it's crazy.
Well, that's why if you look, like Delgado used to teach welding and pipe fitting and automobile mechanics and
trades.
And when you came out,
coming back.
Well, schools used to do it too.
And now
auto shop and all that.
High school.
Yeah, if you're a pipe fitter or a plumber, or
that's because we ship it all off to another country.
Yeah, man, it's just
no need for them anymore.
It's unreal.
I think the pendulum will swing back. I think it's doing it right now. That's why.
Well, did you know? Because I'm making payments on my daughter's student loans. Okay, and did you know that you can't only pay towards the premium?
And you cannot. It's the only thing.
You have to pay towards the interest.
It's the only thing, not only now, but in U.S. history, that doesn't go away when you file bankruptcy.
I know.
That's stupid.
You file bankruptcy as a 25-year-old, which is, by the way, is when you're supposed to be taking the most financial risk, is when you're younger. So you should be opening businesses and, you know, possibly traveling or moving to open a new business. You can't because you got $400,000 in debt now. Ugh, indentured servitude. But yeah, if you go bankrupt, student loans don't go away.
I know.
Stick with you forever.
Until you pay them off.
But yeah, I think they're slowly.
But I was trying to make payments against her premium.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you couldn't do that.
And it clearly says, hey, any payment you make will come out of interest also.
Nothing against the principal.
So you can't call them like a house note and say, I know I owe.
Principal, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah. like a payoff amount.
Yeah. Well, you can get a payoff
but
amount.
It's going to include
but
all
it's going to include the interest.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But okay, let them do it. You'll
insane.
see. They'll all be out of business.
But I thought it was crazy that they have this billions of dollars in like they're just sitting out there in banks.
Mm-hmm.
And the government
What I was
still
gonna tell you,
subsidizes their...
Look up... I should have wrote it down or researched it. I didn't think we were going to talk about it. But look up... this is the pendulum swinging the other way. Did you see that lady that was in a spa and some dude walked in the lady's bathroom with his dick
and his
out?
daughter was there?
What?
Oh, yeah.
And her daughter was there. And she was like...
No,
you're gonna let a guy just walk right into the friggin' women's area?
And he said, he was, he had something wrong with him. He probably wanted to see some naked ladies. He said, "Well, I'm identify as a woman." And he's got his dick out and he's walking.
That's
going to
be an issue, man.
And he just walked in there and was watching them.
It's going to be an issue when you got grandkids.
But now the
and
government and all these other shows, these like CNN and shit, they can't say this guy's a piece of shit.
Right.
They've been pushing that he's a woman.
Exactly.
Well,
So now
didn't
what are you
somebody
gonna
just
do?
win Miss one of the states and he's a dude? What state was that?
Well, it's like it's unfair on so many levels.
Probably
I mean,
California.
look at young ladies that compete
I saw it.
their butts off
Oh yeah, the
all
sports
their
thing.
lives,
California.
and then
Was it California?
and then you lose.
Damn it.
Yep.
I bet it was.
Then you lose a scholarship,
Yeah.
or a spot on the Olympics, because some dude comes in there and says, "No, I'm a girl. Got much more upper strength, got much more speed." It's just unfair.
Watch me blow this away.
Yeah, it's just unfair.
And the bad thing is they're setting records that are unobtainable by women. Even the
Oh, yeah.
strongest
Oh,
women
yeah.
are not going to break those
The
records.
weightlifting thing last year was broke by a guy.
Yeah,
The
it was
female weightlifter, he
in
blew
my-
it out the wall like 60 pounds,
Yeah.
deadlifted, broke the record by like 60 fucking pounds.
And I get military notification, different things that the military's considering doing and stuff. And a good example, because everybody's saying, "Oh, there's no difference. There's no difference. Let them compete." But when you look at it, the Army,
all those women rangers out there?
yeah, well, the Army went to change their physical fitness test because the guys were passing it without a problem. The women soldiers were barely making it if they made it. So they said, "Well, we're going to lighten it up a little bit." Well, now the guys are blowing through it, and the girls are performing. Women performing.
So the dynamic is still there.
Exactly.
There's still the gap.
So now
They're just passing it easier.
Army says we're going back. So it's like, well,
Well, that's a big thing with like
Didn't you-
special forces. They're like the Navy SEALs and things like that. They're like, we're not changing our standards.
yeah,
Let them try to compete. If they make it, they make it.
Yeah. And
It's the
that's
bottom.
And then they actually thought about lowering the standards for the women, and they were like, "Hey, you do that, and we're leaving."
yeah. I don't know. I don't know where it stops. I don't know. There's got to be a line somewhere, though. I'm hoping smarter people than I are trying to figure it out.
Not at the top. You're
I'll
wrong.
tell you what, dude. I saw this movie last weekend called The Forever Purge. Which is the Purge movie. It's just they decided after the Purge was over that they were gonna
stop.
that they weren't gonna stop. Okay, and I tell you, it scared the crap out of me.
Was it a good movie?
No,
Okay.
but it
I was gonna watch
scared the
but
crap
no.
out of me just because it seemed like something that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like I was just like, Jesus Christ, like this could really freaking happen.
It scares me for my.
Because it was just like people realize, hey, we're more than the police. We have more people than the police. We're gonna do what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah.
But now it was unrealistic in the sense that they would have declared martial law and fucked some people up.
Well, hey, look what happened in when they took over that 6-block radius of Portland.
Well, and this was more like they turned
I cannot believe
they
they
turned
let
it
them
like
do that.
racial because they
Yeah.
said, hey, everybody, we're gonna cleanse the United States of all the illegal aliens and stuff like that. But then the stupid part was Canada and Mexico opened their borders. No, I don't think I'm having any spoiler alerts right now, but Canada and Mexico opened their borders so people could evacuate the United States.
Somebody's knocking on the door.
And then and they were starting to kill the motherfuckers trying to cross the border.
Yeah.
So you just bitch that they're here. Let them fucking go. What are you? Why are you trying to kill them? It was stupid.
There's no
dumb
good
movie.
movies out. I watched that Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah. I saw part of it. I couldn't watch the
He
whole
just
thing.
he plays the same goddamn role in every movie he does. He's got a machine gun. He's on a helicopter in every movie, and he's fighting something that doesn't exist.
Well, he's married to Schwarzenegger's daughter. He got it
Oh,
from him.
is he?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Was she hot?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. Is she all jacked up?
No.
Gunny, it was a pleasure talking to you. I love you.
Gunny,
You know
I
that.
love you too.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I was ever associated with this.
I know, me too. Think of how I feel. I built this goddamn room. Now I'm stuck in it.
He
I
loves
should
this
be at
room.
home groping my wife right now. Instead, I'm trapped in this room with you and you and you and a guy that's our producer that can't work the computer. Oh,
He's
Lord
gone.
have mercy.
He's gone. He left.
You see what I know, but he did. You see
He
what my
probably
wife
did.
got me for my birthday? Look at that. It says
That's
wanna
funny.
bang. I said yes,
Oh.
and she said, well, that's too bad. I got you this thing of flowers.
That's pretty cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she put that on my dashboard, and I sent her a text. I said, yes.
Yeah.
And she said, well, that's too bad.
That's pretty cool.
That's not what I meant.
Look at that. Look at that. Thank you, my love.
It's a pun.
I love my little bullet flowers. Anyway, that's what bullets look like once they expand people.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Bye-bye.